See, the assumption is that one day it will arrive to you and you will say, oh, finally I found it. That's what I am. But that will never happen. Such a beautiful day with those beautiful natural clouds over the sky, like really beautiful. Hey man, so I'm doing this video in the hope that we'll not fall into a great confusion and misunderstanding for months or even years, which I've been through because of the question, who am I? Trying to find out who you are. And see, with this core spirituality question, with all these teachers and teachings, there is an enormous possibility for misunderstanding. And misunderstanding is what brings all the confusion, the pain, and the mess, which really can be avoided in great part, hopefully, if you understand what we will talk about in this video today. See, for all these years, I've been trying to understand who am I, trying to know myself as I know all other objects in reality. So, as I know that a camera is there, and as I know that a tree is there, as I know that tomorrow I have to do a certain thing. See, that kind of knowing is knowing something. Knowing a thing that implies the separation. You trying to know something. And for all this time, I was oblivious to the impossibility of knowing myself that way. Because see, you cannot know yourself in that way as an object, because that is separated by definition from you. If you really see the impossibility of knowing yourself that way, the whole confusion and misunderstanding will be avoided. But it really has to be seen clearly, understood totally, completely. That is clear when you understand that you are not separated from yourself. See, we assume that we are actually separated from ourselves. When we quote-unquote observe ourselves, what we are observing is not us at all, since we are not separated from ourselves. What we are observing is mind activities, is the ideas, self-images we have about ourselves that we identify with. So that, in that sense, we know ourselves. That's the only way in which you can know yourself, in the sense in which you know all the things in reality. So sound that is coming up right now, my voice. See, there is always a separation in that knowing. Is part of how knowing itself works. It is dual. So knowing yourself in that way is impossible. But when you grasp this, the fact that you are not separated from yourself, this leads to seeing all the things that you think are yourself, which in fact are not. So all the time that you are, for example, pretending to be in a certain way, to be seen by others in a certain way, that is all things that you are knowing. They are not you. But we associate with them as if they are us. That is just the avatar, the character that you have crafted through time, through your memories, through seeing others that you then imitate, and all these get mixed up in an image that you then try to be. And that you can know in the sense of subject-object. You will know that as an object, you can see it, you can be aware of it, and that is separated from you, as we said. So you are actually never that, and you will never be that, and you have never been that at all. But see, this not knowing who we are automatically causes a fear, like it's not how it should be, like it's not correct. I should know who I am, like I should see it as I see everything else in this reality, as an object. This is because intrinsically, for our survival, not knowing is seen as a negative. Because knowledge, knowing is power. When you know something, that knowledge gives you power because you can use it to survive, to improve your survival. But see, when we speak about knowing who you actually are, that has nothing to do with it. There is nothing bad with knowing stuff, but here, the point is that you cannot know yourself in that way. And see, for that reason, when we don't know who we are, society tells us that we should know it in the sense that we should be something or become something, which is the same because it's this constant process of becoming. The self-image is a constant process of becoming, of transforming. So rather than staying with that not knowing who I am, we try to fill it by finding who I am. But that's not the way, and this is the whole point of this video. Because if you can really understand and see that, you will not go in all that confusion that you will have to go through if you try to understand who you are in that way. See, the assumption is that one day it will arrive to you and you will say, oh, finally I found it, that's what I am. But that will never happen. See, when you clearly understand that you cannot know yourself in that dualistic subject-object way, as a knife cannot cut itself, the whole thing drops. Because the whole misunderstanding ends. So is there something that you can do? Well, yes and no, in the sense that you have first to clearly understand this point that we went over, and then the only thing that you can do is seeing all your separations from yourself, all the ways in which you behave based on the imposition of others on you and of yourself on you. All your pretenses, your acts, seeing how painful that is to keep up, to maintain, and so actually starting to be yourself. Even if you don't know what it means, staying in that not knowing who you are allows you to be what you are, and to be what you are is the true knowledge of what you are. So you can see it as a different kind of knowing. I'm speaking about what you are already now, what you have been since forever, and what you will be, what you will always be, what you are in this exact moment, not something else. You don't have to become it, you don't have to try to be it, you are it. What you are trying to be is the thing that you are not. So you have been mechanically acting out this thing that you are not for years, and all people around you try to enforce it on you. So they are against you on that. They don't want you to be yourself. So what you can do is have the courage to not know yourself, the courage to be what you are without pretense, no matter the consequence of it. And so start to break out this mechanicalness, these chains that hold you. Have the courage to be spontaneous. Because what you are is not premeditated. You don't have to prepare yourself to be what you are. It's the spontaneous movement of life itself, through you. As a child, is spontaneously himself. He doesn't know himself, as we spoke about in the first part of the video. He doesn't know himself as an image of who he is, of what others tell him he is, of what he tell himself he is. And in that way, he knows himself much more than we think we do with our minds. See, whenever you think about how you should behave, how you should react, whenever you put a front, that's not you. Whenever you pretend, that's not you. And you feel that because you are splitted inside. And there are thousands of reasons for which you can do that. Because in that way, you can build a self-image about yourself. You get a certain reaction from someone else, and then you have an image of yourself because of that subject-object relationship. And in that sense, you falsely know yourself, and you try to keep that up, to build it through others. But see, you are a slave to others. You're not free at all. So if you want to be free, completely free, the freedom is to be you. Not to be what you want to be, what others want you to be, but what you are now, naturally. And see, the beauty is that what you are is completely synced with nature, because as a bird is spontaneously himself, as a tree is spontaneously himself, you too naturally are spontaneously yourself. and you don't need to think about that, to think about how you should be, how to be myself. That's such a nonsense question when you see it. So to recap, first, all knowing is dual. Subject knows an object. Second, you can't know yourself as an object. What you will know is an image you have built about yourself that you use as an avatar to interact with the world. Third, the true knowing of yourself lies in not knowing who you are, which is actually the truth, because you don't know who you are, and being what you are, which goes together. When you stay in that not knowing who you are what you are. You don't need to know what you are to be what you are. So I really hope that this video will clear up this misunderstanding to avoid all kind of mind mess and that through this you will be able to come back to being what you truly are, your nature, your birthright, and so be free. If you liked this video, show a like, maybe throw a comment. If you like, join our community, link in the description. And if you're trying to build your own business or trying to find relationship secrets with women and spiritual gems, check out the free holistic mind map that I just put out. It is a reservoir of concise, high quality information that I always update and comes from my constant research, reading and discoveries. So the link for this is in the description. I'm sure you'll find something helpful there. And yeah, that's it. Stay strong. Love you.